Today I am here to talk about Full Metal Alchemist. And Full Metal Alchemist is another work I absolutely adore. It used to be my absolute number one favorite comic ever, but recently it's a little bit tough to decide between Full Metal Alchemist, Chainsaw Man, and Hunter x Hunter. But looks like Hunter x Hunter, I don't think it'll ever finish. Very sad to admit. Um, and Chainsaw Man is just so fucking unique. I'm gonna make a video separately about Chainsaw Man, but Full Metal Alchemist. Why it's so good? It's so contained. It finishes exactly when it needs to finish. It goes on for as long as it needs to go on. Every character is so rich with personality, and they all fit a role within the story. And again, there's a lot of Buddhist philosophy elements in the work, and today I want to bring special highlight to one portion of Full Metal Alchemist that has to do with the Buddhist concept of 12 links of dependent rising. I think that's the English term, because I know this in like Korean. Okay, so it's actually 12 links of dependent origination. That's the proper term. So, what does this mean? It You don't need to know, in my opinion, the 12 specific steps, but conceptually what it means is that everything is interconnected. There is nothing that exists by itself. I think I am my own person, but I am only here because my parents made me, which makes me their son. And I got registered as a citizen in Korea, so now I exist in relationship to my country. And I exist in relationship to other Koreans and my lineage, and basically everything can be traced to that. This post-it is not just a post-it. It became a writing device to me because I used it like that, and it is part of a greater post-it stack, which came from a paper that was influenced by this ink color, like the paper color, and so on. And it goes on. Nothing exists by itself. Everything is in relationship to another. Why is this important? Well, because a lot of the times, a lot of we when we think of our problems, we tend to think the problems are kind of just there, independent things. But more often than not, the problem is always in relationship to another. So, for example, I think I'm a procrastinator, and I think that's bad. So I feel shameful about myself for procrastinating on things and delaying things. But procrastinating on what? Because there's a thing that needs to be done. But why does that need to be done? And why does it done? Why does it need to be done like today? Why can't it be done in the future? So in some sense, why can't it be done earlier than scheduled in one perspective? Why am I only fixated on one relation, like one like perspective of this, when there are so many other networks to examine this procrastination problem from? And how does this actually, demonstrate in Full Metal Alchemist? There's one scene where the brothers, Alphonse and Edward, they are training to become alchemists. They want to become alchemists, so they go to the prominent alchemist they found. I think her name was Izumi. It's been a long, long time since I rewatched the series. But anyway, this alchemist teacher, freakishly strong, extremely talented alchemist. And now, these two little kids knock on her door, tell her, I want to learn how to be an alchemist so that I can revive my mom. And now the she doesn't just decide, okay, let's learn. No, you need a trial first. And the trial is to go to a remote island where there's no humans and survive there for a month. I think it's a month. But anyway, you survive there for a time. That's it. And the brothers are like, okay, let's do it. But the thing is, they're just there by themselves. And first day, it's kind of bearable, but then hunger hits. right? And you get cold because you don't have any like heating systems and you don't have a proper shelter, so you're always at the risk of getting eaten by wolves. So now the boys try to hunt, but they can't get themselves to hunt because they are fixated on viewing the bunnies that they're trying to hunt and the fish that they're trying to hunt as independent things they are going to do harm on. And so they try to pull the arrow, but they can't. They try to stab, but they can't. And this becomes a very big dilemma, right? And then time doesn't wait for you. So time continues to pass, and your hunger gets even worse, and your survival is truly at risk. But the thing is, if you fail here, if you can't make it out alive, how do you fulfill your original goal of reviving your mom? You can't. So now the boys have to make a decision. Do I want to die here? Because I can't make that decision to move forward. So basically, it comes down to, is it my pursuit or is it respecting every life out there? And the boys eventually make a call with determination, and then they are finally able to successfully hunt. And now, from the perspective of, animal rights and viewing them as entities, the boys killed. The boys actually killed, right? It killed another life in order to sustain itself. But that is, in the realm of the story, what enabled the boys to survive in that island, learn how to be alchemists, and eventually you will find out that they end up saving the world. So, in the grand scheme of things, had the rabbits not been consumed, had the fish not been consumed, the world would have ended because the boys would not have been able to stop the machinations of the evil villain who was already taking many lifetimes to complete this system of total destruction. that's what that's also kind of what makes this Full Metal Alchemist so good. Everything is planned, and so yeah, if the boys hadn't done that, from the perspective of the story, things would be fucked. So, in one isolated perspective, I killed a life, I ended a life, and I consumed it. But from the grand scheme of things, it allows for all the other rabbits and all the other fish and all the other wolves to be able to live. It is a part of a system, greater system that exists in relation to another system. Because again, nothing is there by itself. So that is the Full Metal Alchemist and how it relates to the Buddhist concept of everything relating to another.